Right, so electric safety, I have talked about this on several occasions because the deadline was the 1st of April. So I am hoping now, guys, that every one of you landlords on this webinar all now have a 5-year EICR in place on every tenancy that you have. It must be a 5-year EIC. You must now give tenants a 5-year EICR before the tenancy starts. And all retrospective tenancies should now have a 5-year EICR on the property. You must supply a copy of the latest report to any new tenant and existing tenant once the property has been, once the cert has been done. Renewals of tenancy needed to comply. You mustn't have renewed until done. Applies to all tenancies apart from resident landlord tenancies. And just to be clarifying on a resident landlord, the definition is slightly different to that in terms of what tenancy agreement you use. So the resident landlord definition under the electric regulations is that they share amenities to include a kitchen or a bathroom. So if, for example, you have a landlord with an annex, that for the purposes of a tenancy agreement would be deemed as a resident landlord. For the purposes of the electrical safety regulations, he wouldn't, because there would be no shared amenities. So pretty much every tenancy should now have a 5-year EICR in place. And as I say, they're all tenancies to have an EICR by the 1st of April 2021. If you haven't got yours done yet, please get them done, just to make sure that you're compliant, because there's some hefty penalties. If you have a failed certificate, which 90% of our property portfolio failed, just because additions change all of the time, you must carry out the remedial work. Code 1s must be completed as soon as possible, which means pretty much immediately, because they are immediately dangerous. And Code 2s must be completed within 28 days of the visit. And a copy of the failed certificate and evidence of the remedy must be sent to the local housing authority within 28 days of their request. And of course, you must provide the tenant, once the work has been carried out, either a satisfactory certificate or evidence that the work has been completed. Now, as I said to you earlier, guys, that this comes with some hefty fines. It's actually a £30,000 financial penalty, and is issued to you from the local housing authority. So what that means is the council will pocket the fine. So they are infused to prosecute you, because it means that they can put money in their pot, and it is of financial benefit for them personally as a council. It's also important to note that this does not form part of the Deregulation Act. So if you forget or you haven't served a copy of the electric certificate to the tenant before they move into the property, you can still successfully serve a Section 21 notice. So it doesn't form part of the Deregulation Act.